Hey guys, I have come on today to do a quick flip through of a really cute journal that I've just finished, and I will try to make it as quick as possible because I have a few things from a small Tuesday morning haul I'd like to show you. Well, there's one thing in particular that I'm just in love with, but anyway, first we'll do the book flip and then I'll do the haul from Tuesday morning. This is for a lady who's retiring. She is or was a school teacher, and her favorite childhood book was Harry the Dirty Dog. So the person who's gifting this to her let me know. I found the book and got actually a couple of copies of it. Well, I got one extra copy of it just in case I messed something up in here terribly bad. And they weren't that expensive, so, you know, it was no big deal. So I have another one, but it's just slightly smaller, as you can see. I'm planning, the reason why I wanted to especially do the share, even though this one already has a home, is that I want to make a second one out of this smaller version and have it in my Etsy shop, as well as probably doing one with this book I ended up with from a lot of books I bought off of eBay, if I'm not mistaken. Did not even realize this was in the set. Or it could have been, there was a lady I was buying some books from and she had to substitute for a Charlie Brown or Peanuts book that I wanted, and she didn't have it, so she had this Harry book and the lady next door and subbed this in for it instead. Anyway, point is, I will be making journals out of these to put in my Etsy shop. I'm gonna start on them, you know, this week and see if I can't get those thrown together fairly quickly. But I don't know, y'all. I'm so slow at my work. I love doing this, and I love thinking of, you know, taking a lot of time. I do take way too much time and put in a lot of thought into them. But anyway, I'm getting better about, you know, moving a little faster. So anyway, here's the cover. I trimmed it with, well, first I had to create a new spine because, of course, the book itself was only, you know, this thick. So a new spine had to be created. And I used super thick chipboard and Tyvek, you know, from a Tyvek folder, and glue and duct tape. This is actually, it looks like burlap, but it's really cool duct tape, the Duck brand duct tape. They sell it at Walmart. That's where I picked that up. I added a little, oh gosh, what do you call it? Loop here I made a tassel for it that looks like this, and it has a little doggy charm, a little paw print, and a little doggy bone attached to it. So you can open this up like that and just clip it on. That's how I'll send it, you know, is with the tassel attached. And I've added fibers that coordinate with the colors of the book, and some of the fibers and ribbons and trim I have actually used in the book, like this with the leaves. I've used in the book. I think I used this black with the white flowers. I know I used the orange and white stripe. Anyway, just some things that she could leave this as it is, you know, all the time, and just as a decoration and ornament on the book, or she could take these out. This is simply tied on with just a bow. It's a little jute twine. Open it up and pull ribbon out to use to embellish things in her journal if she'd like. And it can be removed just as easily as it's put on. You just open this little hook up, little ring, snap it back together so that it doesn't fall off. And I have it actually hanging on a hook here behind me on the wall. And let's hope that I don't forget to put that on before I send the book out today. So here we go. Oh, the back cover. Isn't that cute? And I used Wink of Stella, this, to add some shimmer to certain things on the cover, like this little doggy back here. He's the only one sleeping, so you can see him shimmering. And on the front, I used it on the name Harry. There you go. You can see a little bit of that shimmery. And I also added it to the spots on both dogs. Yeah. Okay. So let's look inside. Oh, wait. Again, jumping the gun. These buttons, the white ones, they're mother of pearl and were my grandmother's. And my mom found them, and she had grandmama's sewing box. And look at how they were, she had stored them. I love how they have a yellowish tint to them. But she just has them on a piece of twine of some kind of string, or like kitchen baker string. And it's thick enough that it holds the buttons on there. When you want one, you just pull it off. It's not knotted or anything. You just pull it off, and there it is, ready to go. So I've been hoarding these, and then I got to thinking how cute they'd be, that color on this book. And so since Harry is white with black spots when he's clean, I did black and white buttons. And so I put the 2 white ones on the outside signatures when I tied it, and this black flower shaped button in the center, just to give a little decoration to the spine. Okay, so now we can look inside. Okay, I got some fabulous vintage wrapping paper from the Boston Bag Lady. And if you guys have not checked out her Etsy shop or her Instagram I think is BBL Vintage for Boston Bag Lady Vintage. She has fabulous stuff, and the prices are phenomenal. I mean, but she lives somewhere up north. Well, obviously Boston. I say somewhere. Obviously Boston, I would guess. I don't know. Maybe she's just from Boston. Anyway, point being, she finds great stuff up there, and I just love the fact that she finds these things and is willing to share them with us at prices that are actually affordable. So I decided, even though there isn't pink in the book itself, just these pops of bright neon pink went so well with this. Even my daughter was like, yeah, Mom, that needs to go in the book. So I've added just little touches of pink throughout just to help tie this in, because I wanted these to cover the inside of the covers so badly. I just thought it went with the time and, you know, time period, and it was just really super stinking cute, you know. I have a Dymo, oh, excuse me. I have a vintage Dymo labeler. Isn't that the coolest thing ever? Love it. I found it on eBay quite a while back. It's been a couple of years. Anyway, it came with, believe it or not, wood grain tape to use in it. And so I've been using it very sparingly, the brown wood grain, because I haven't found it anywhere since I got the thing. But I put her first name there and just glued that in. Even though it was sticky on the back, I added a little glue just to make sure it held down. Okay, the book has 3 signatures. So this is the first signature on the front. Of course, my name being Deborah, I have lots of D cards, and so I put this in. I thought it's just a blank card. It'd be a nice place for her to write about where she got the book and from who and why, maybe, or whatever. And this is a little vintage florist card. Vintage trim. Anyway, I'll stop saying vintage. Most of it is. Some things you'll know obviously aren't, like the giant big pink rickrack right here on this page. So I just embellished this parchment paper with a gold metallic doily. Okay, one thing I need to explain. The background of this page and several others are from, see how this says administration at the top? These are pages from an old yearbook. Well, obviously she doesn't want to see the people that are in the yearbook, you know, but I just thought it was a cool touch to know that they were yearbook pages, especially since she is a retiring school teacher, you know, just a new way to incorporate these, fun way. So I've made journaling spots, you know, tuck spots, you know, added cards and envelopes and different things, little tiny file folders with journal spots inside to cover up the actual people, but it still leaves enough, you know, like their names and stuff, that hints at what the pages were originally. I thought that was just fun. I'm going to do I want to do myself a whole journal made out of just yearbook pages. I think that would be fun. Anyway, like this, that's obviously not vintage. This paper is not vintage, nor is this card. This is, though, this little flash card, and I made it a tuck spot with just a little tag for her to have a little place to tuck in there to write on. Okay, this page, the administrator page, I covered these two men up with paper and a little writing spot with some vintage handwriting paper. I stamped her initials on these cards. And then I also got from Boston Bag Lady these vintage computer cards. I don't even know what they are anymore, but anyway, they're old. And it has a hidden, you know, journaling behind it. She could also, you know, write on something and glue it or tape it on top of the flap. I've started using some of the black electrical tape. I don't know why. I have developed this little fascination with that, but there it is. I added a note to the lady who's receiving the book, Denise, and gave her some more of the Dymo made labels with her name on them, and just held it in with paper clips that have been embellished. That's a little dog charm with a bone, his little dog with a bone in his mouth. This is a journaling card on the back. This pocket I embellished with little daisy trim. That's vellum. And then on the back, I made an envelope for her to store things in. I just put a vintage bingo card that has, I sewed a some kind of order form to the back. She can write on that. And these, I left it open, you know, in the middle so it can be used as a pocket. Pretty yellow accounting form. There's the tree leaf trim I was talking about earlier. She has two pieces of stenographer pad paper here and some rickrack trim. I sewed this little tag just at the top of this and didn't like how just the stitching was showing, so then I used my tape runner to attach another price tag on the back just to cover that up. And I did some very faint stenciling on the back, on this page that was blank on the back. It kind of bled through, but you know, that's okay. This is lined, excuse me, notepad paper. And then I just attached this vintage flashcard to this piece and added a piece of ledger paper where it was blank for her to write in. And I could have left it blank, you know, and she could have written in the space there, but I was scared she might not, you know, feel like she could write on that, so that's why I added that. I would so write on that, you know, in the blank area, but some people might be a little leery of doing that. Like, this is a great place to write. You know, do your picture up here if it's a photograph, or if you paint this out, you know, and do your own art. And then you've got this nice spot area right here to write about whatever it is. This page I made vellum pockets with journal cards. And see, I've used a lot of the hot pink here just to help incorporate that. See, you can see this lady's face, you know. This is another one of the journal pages. It had, I think these are staff members. Yeah, it lists their names and what they taught. Oh, look, somebody taught crafts. Judith D. Grenemeyer taught crafts. Cool. Oh, a Deborah. How neat. I hadn't even noticed that. Deborah J. Guire taught science. I love science stuff. Neat. Okay. This is from a children's coloring book, an old one. Vintage ledger paper there. And then she has this to write on also. Okay, this folds out. I got a couple of the pages out of order, but it's no big deal. Like, this was supposed to be here, so just don't tell anybody. Nobody will know the difference. Okay, this folds out. A little piece of the material there. And just, this is a paper clip with a doghouse charm on it. And I folded this up and made a pocket, and her initials, I picked out some old index cards that I had, sewed journal spots on, and then also made a little book. I thought that was cute with the black, it looks like chalkboard, you know, and made her a book with an old bridge tally page, music paper, and an old, it looks like address book or something, piece of paper from that. And this is a check and deposit register book for like a business. So she's got a little book there she can write in. Okay, these pages were fabulous. I got them out of one of the yearbooks I got from, I think, okay, I'm not gonna say because I can't remember who I got these from. But anyway, it had these wonderful, beautifully colored gold pages for the groups like Math Club, Color Guard, you know, Library Club, Deca Club, and has their group pictures. Well, here, you can see that one, yeah. I just covered it up with paper, you know, lined paper. There are 2 pink sheets here I sewed on. This is completely covering the Color Guard. And let me check and see if I have something in here. I just attached this envelope, yep, and put this little, I use scraps, you know, cut-offs to make this little booklet that she can write on and stamp the word notes on there. Okay, I'll go back and do that later. Then on this side, to cover them up, I just, you know, stamped the arrows, and this is like a craft paper almost, but it's old. You can see the discoloration around the edges. I love that paper. And this is a library, oh, what do you call these? Library card from the old Dewey Decimal System, you know, and you go up to the big dresser thing and pull it out and then go find your book and put a journal spot under that. This is a Project Life card, and I loved how they fit just right on these shapes. Really old cover to some piano music. And I just added a piece of vintage handwriting paper in the center there and Rick Rack trim. This side has a fold out, and I just stamped little doggy feet. And this is an old index card, and I love this. There was one in particular that had tuition refund. I thought that was perfect for, you know, a retired school teacher, tuition refund. This is just some ephemera I got a long time ago that I just like the colors of, and I covered these ladies up from the choir with a Project Life card and some black electrical tape. This is a recipe card, actually, and this little Crayola is like a gift tag. And I just tucked, this is a bookmark I found, I think at our local library, and I just added journaling on the back and a little ticket tab at the top. It was perfect for that little skinny pocket. Here I added a tally card that is not vintage, that is new. I picked those up at the Hallmark shop on clearance and made a tag to journal on and tuck that in there. I embellished this page with these little flowers, this little trim, and some green, oh, like netting stuff. I can't think of what you call that. Yeah, it's attached, oh, to this paper. And this little old tag. Don't know what it's from, but it's, anyway, cute, so I put it there. Little tag here with my husband's name is Paul. I loved it when I got these, and now I have a bunch of Paul tags, I call them. This is a vintage name tag, like name badge you would stick on your shirt, that I got when I first started collecting vintage ephemera and things, and found them at a thrift shop or a yard sale, I can't remember, but they're by Avery, so very old. And cute little old puppy dog picture I sewed to the front of this little file folder with writing space inside to cover up these people. Okay, the back of that, I did a lot of trim on this because there were some people I just couldn't figure out how else to cover up. So I did the flower trim and the orange and white ribbon, made a pocket, and just took some cardstock and made this little, you know, journaling tag, and used one of the milk bottle caps as the tab to pull it out. Did some circle stencils. This is just some very bright, nice thick cardstock scrapbook paper. Stamped some little doggy feet very lightly. These are all second generation prints. You know, I'd print it off over on the side in my paint wipe off notebook and then use the second print to on here so she could still write over it. And just a little embellished tag with some hem binding and Project Life card. This pocket or page, I did this trim I got from Hobby Lobby. I just like the material, it's perfect for this book. These colors, and made 2 journaling spots. This one is not sewn down. This one I glued down, yeah, but I thought they were cute. Blank, wow, somewhere blank. You can rest your eyes. This is from a handmade stamp that I carved, and it also is the second generation print. I'd stamp it off on one page and over in my book and then print here. And I did the swirls because on the carpet going up the steps here, it has little swirlies on it. So that was fun. This little cute card, she can tuck something in there. This folds out really far. Piece of double knit, like polyester something I stitched on there just to give some color. This envelope I made, and it has glittery sparklies on it. It's so pretty. And I thought they looked like bubbles. I thought it was appropriate for this because they're doing his bath, you know, and making all these bubbles. And when you open it up, it is actually full of scraps and cutoffs. And I'll put a note in there explaining to her what, you know, it is the scraps and cutoffs. So they coordinate, and if she wants to, you know, I don't know how much of this kind of thing she does already. We do know that she likes to journal. So maybe that will help motivate her, you know, give her some inspiration to do some of her own, you know, embellishing and further embellishing of the book, you know, or something. And yeah, that'd be cool. And this is coming to the end of the book. This is one of my favorite pages. This is one envelope, one of the manila ones, but I got it in the mail from something, and it actually opened this way. So here's the part of the original flap. I put her name on it with these letter cards that are old. And inside, you can see from the front, there's a bingo card inside. And I put one of the vintage Clue game, your note sheet on the back for her to be able to write on. Color from those is absolutely perfect. And this is a tag I got from the Pretty Pink Cottage. She sends little extra goodies with her orders, and that was one of them, so that was kind of cool. Which is Diane H, by the way, on YouTube. Just made her some journal spots here, you know. Trimmed this pocket out with some black and white washi, and inside I put this journal card that I made out of some old school vowel sound practice cards. Yep, that was kind of fun to do. Or very fun to do, I should say. Not kind of fun, but very fun. And trimmed it with some ribbon and lace. And then the very back, I just made these little, like a waterfall. She can journal or put pictures, you know, whatever she wants on these. And added, it is sewn down, but I also added some of the black electrical tape there. And this is one of the little tea saucer mats. I just folded on the top and sewed that on. And then the very last page is library pocket and card, pink. And then I added this ribbon, just glued that on with Fabri-Tac and added a little doggy paw print. Yeah, there you go. So that is the back, and we are through that little journal flip. Anyway, I absolutely adore this book, and I really hope that the recipient loves it. I'm going to tie it up with I've got some cream gray grain ribbon. I'm going to tie it up with that. I'm not doing a closure on it. Yeah, so anyway, hope she enjoys that. I hope you enjoyed the flip through. Okay, so there are a couple of things I got from Tuesday morning recently that I just felt the need to share with y'all. These napkins are stunning, I think. To me, they look very vintage, and they're obviously not, but just the colors, the artwork is just gorgeous. Gorgeous. I can't wait to find something to do with these. I love just the whole thing. Anyway, I'm dying over those. These were similar. They're very I should have taken them out of the package, but I'm not going to now because it's so noisy on the video. But they're very watercolor-y looking, very painterly looking. So I can't wait to get into those. Then I found these cool tickets. They look like, you know, vintage. It says mercantile tags. You got 12 in the set for $1.50. Can't beat that. If they'd had more packages, I would have picked them up, but there was just the one. Then I thought I'd try these out. So they're, I think it's just liquid acrylic. It says it's highly pigmented. They're by Artsy. And yeah, I think, yeah, liquid watercolor. Okay, here we go. It's watercolor. So they'll be a lot of fun to use, I think. And it's just a set of red, blue, and green. So, yep, we'll see what we can do with those. I found this really cool pack from American Crafts. Look how bright that is. I love it. It's textured. Let me see if you can see the texture on there. Anyway, I thought they'd be great for backgrounds on cards, tags. But I just love these colors. They're beautiful. Yep, so that was kind of neat. Now, here are my two favorite things. First of all was this. It's a Love fabric applique, and I can just see that on the front of some journal at Valentine's Day, in the spring, you know, whatever. Well, just now as I was getting them out, this was only $1.49. I realized when I was pulling it out to do this video, it says quantity 3. Well, I think they messed up because apparently there are 3 in this package that were supposed to be sold separately. Yeah, so I lucked out and ended up with 3 of these. So I may put 2 of them in my Etsy shop. I don't know. We'll see. Because I don't see me using all 3 of them. Although I might. But yeah, I got very lucky with that one. Yeah, because see, they're all tagged on the back. So they need to have some people or some training on their unpacking and stocking about how this needs to be done. Okay, here's my favorite thing that I found. This I will be taking out of the package, but I'll show you what it looks like. Look at this notepad. Isn't that gorgeous? It looks like a painted picture frame for $1.99. Isn't it beautiful? I just think it's to die for. Can you see that as a journal spot on some pages in a journal? It's by C.R. Gibson. I'm trying to see how many pieces of paper on there. It's quite thick, you know? There's a lot of paper there. So let's tear it out. Yep. I was a little worried that these would be plain underneath, that it was just the cover, but no. It's just a whole pad of this gorgeous paper. Y'all, there's at least 100 sheets, if not more, on there. So they'll be stunning as journal spots. Yeah, cannot wait to use those. So, alrighty, well, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you, if you liked it, click on the thumbs up and subscribe. I could always use more friends, and look forward to doing, I want to do a process video next. And I'm not sure what, I may just do painty papers. I might do a Pick 10. I have my own set of prompt sticks that my mom and I actually came up with, you know, to play together or on our own. I made her a set and I've got a set, you know, things like add pink, deli paper, add a border to your page, you know. So I've really been thinking about doing a video with that. And then if you want to follow along, you certainly could. So anyway, we'll see. I look forward to talking to you again real soon. Bye.